Hi, welcome back. Myself Mukhtar. In this session, I'll gonna discuss about the electronic components. Electronic components play a big role while designing a PCB because it comes in various shapes, it has different forms, and it has millions of varieties. So all this discussion we will do, and at the end, I'll also walk through the datasheet of one of the components. So stay tuned. Let's begin. So electronic components can be broadly categorized into the two types. We have through-hole components, and on the other side we have SMT components. Through-hole component look like this. It has the longer leads. It was originally designed for the single-sided PCB, where you can place the through-hole component like this. You place component on the top side, and then you have leads passing through the PCB, and then you can solder the component leads. So throw-hole components are quite old, but still it is in use because of few reasons. First of all, it can support the higher power rating because of its bigger package advantage, and secondly, we can give a cost-effective PCB by using single-sided PCB technology and these through-hole components. Now, soldering a through-hole component is also important. It is usually done by hand. It's a manual process because doing it by a machine is not easy because these leads may bend and may not insert it properly through this hole. And when we do soldering, the shape indicates the quality. Usually, the volcano or cone shape is good. Rest of the shape indicates the dry soldering or improper soldering. Now let's talk about the SMT components. SMT stand for the surface mount devices. The SMT components are different from the through-hole components in terms of placement and soldering because usually they have the small leads. It is meant to solder on the same plane where we are placing our components. So the main advantage of the SMT components are they can speed up the manufacturing process because we can use machines like pick and place and wave soldering. So it is very good in manufacturing SMT components. We can do it very quickly. Now let's see how it gets placed. This is the example of the chip components, like this is the capacitor. So we have the SMT pads and it should be placed like that, and the solder should look like this. Okay, this is a sign of good quality soldering. Now let's talk about the packages. So we have some standard packages for every electronic components. These are the industrial standards, we can say. So these packages are for both, like for the through components and for the assembly components. The packages defines the dimension of the component, how they will gonna place, like assembly or through, and how many pins and where will be the position of the pins, all such stuff. For example, this is a dip package, dual inline package. It's a throw type package, and we have component on we have pins on both the sides. Similarly, we have QFP package. It is SMD package, and we have lids on each side. So these are the few standard packages what electronic manufacturer makes the component in these packages. Similarly, these are the few example of SMD packages for chip components and some regular components. So in a chip component, we have these standard packages. This is for capacitor and resistors SMD components. So let's start from usually 0201 to 2512, and in semiconductors we have these common assembly packages. Now every electronic component has its logical symbol, which is used in schematic or circuit diagram. It is also called a schematic symbol. So these symbols are standard and internationally recognized. So it will help us to design a circuit in a logical way. Like we don't need to think about how the component will gonna look like and what will be the shape and everything. because we first design a schematic, and then we will do a PCB layout. So in a schematic diagram, we use these kind of symbols. So all components having its unique standard schematic symbols. On the other side, we have footprints. These footprints are according to its the package, what we discussed earlier. So every component has its package, and every package will have its footprint on the PCB layout. So in the datasheet, we can find the recommended layout pattern of component for the PCB. Basically, it tells the LAN pattern, like how it will gonna solder on the PCB, what should be the size of the pads, and how much area it will gonna take, so how much clearance we should keep, all this stuff. So these are the footprints. It is also called a decal. And now let's talk about the dimensions of the component. So dimension details are usually mentioned in the data sheet. It is given in unit of mils or mm. Most commonly it is given in millimeters. So every number you're seeing here, it is in millimeters. So here I took an example of microcontroller chip which has 48 pins, and it uses LQFP package. So in LQFP package, we have pins on each side. So we have 4 sides. So we have pins on each side, and these pins are progressing in the anti-clockwise direction. So we can see pin number 1 start from here, and when we go around in anti-clockwise direction, the pin number 48 ends here. There's also a notch to represent the pin number 1. So the placement on the PCB can be managed. And in a dimension, we need to see few important parameters such as pitch. Pitch is basically a distance between a pin to pin. Center to center distance of pin. So pitch is here 0.5 mm, and there's a width of the pitch. It is the thickness of the pitch. It is 0.2 mm with the tolerance of plus minus 0.1 mm. And then we have inner to inner edge distance. This is 7 mm, and outer to outer edge distance, which is 9 mm. So when we subtract outer edge to inner edge, we will have a difference of 2 mm. So 1 mm on each side. So the length of the pin is 1 mm. Now this LQFP package is square in shape, so we can see the 7 and 9 mm again repeating here. Here we can see the height of the component is 1.4 mm, and maximum it can go to 1.85. And these are a few additional details. I feel it is not much used in our layout design. In datasheet, they also give the recommended footprints dimension. So we can simply refer it and use it in the PCB layout design. Now let's see the LAN patterns. So LAN patterns comes on the PCB layout or the PCB. So in case of throw-hole components LAN pattern, we can see we have a drill hole on the pad, so that lead of the throw-hole component can be passed through it and soldered on the other side. So these are the LAN patterns of the throw-hole on the PCB. And in case of SMD components, we don't have any throw-hole because the component gets soldered on the same side and leads are on the same side. So the LAN pattern of the SMD look like this. Okay, this is the example of LQFP package. Now let's walk through the datasheet of the component. Here I took an example of a timer IC, which is LM555 from Texas Instrument brand. Texas Instrument is not the only manufacturer of this component. We have other brands as well, but the datasheet pattern of all manufacturers are similar. On a first page, we can find on the header the key part number of the component and 1 line or 2 line description, and all have a feature list on the first page, some application details, its description, and package information. So here we can see this component LM555 having 3 different package support. So datasheet will have other information such as In description, it's functional block and its description, and absolute maximum rating. So these are the numbers beyond which this component will not work or it may get damaged. Then next important thing is electrical characteristic. So in electrical characteristic, we'll find the range such as what should be the supply voltage of the component, how much current it will gonna consume, and rest of the electrical stuff. So it's vary from component to component. So they also mention some graphs and characteristic related to that component. And so here we have the functional block diagram of this component, so we can refer and understand how it's work. And they also add some application circuit details. So these are the application circuits or example circuits. So this is a stable multivibrator circuit to on and off the output. So these are the detailed description of application. In some datasheet, they mention the layout design guideline. So if they have some common components in all circuits, so they recommend how these components to be placed. So it will work best. Now in every datasheet, we'll find the ordering detail and packet information. So here we can see these are the orderable device number, and here we can see the status. So NRND stands for not recommended for the new design. So we should see which part number we are considering. So if we are going for SMT component, so the part number for SMT component could be this, like LM555CM, it is active, or package is SYC. And if you are looking for different package, so we can see the different package. So every combination gives a unique orderable part number. Okay. So you can find the other detail as well, package and device marking on it. Now every datasheet talks about its components package, its dimension, how it looks. So these device supports 3 packages. So it is ISO async package, its dimension, and it's a PCB layout line pattern. So simply following these numbers, creating this line pattern on the layout, we can simply have a footprint on the layout. So this is the other package, like it's a throw package in dual line PDIP. And this is the other SMT package. It is little white one, and it's line pattern. So that's it. So these are the few common information you will find in every datasheet, and what I discussed in the datasheet. So these information we should always check and see. So that's it. That's it for this session. In the next session, I'll be discussing about the schematic and PCB layout background. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. See you in the next session. Bye.